My name is Sarah Mitchell. I'm a mother of two. I work at the local library. I live in a quiet town in Ohio. Nothing special about me. Nothing at all. But 3 months ago, something happened that I can't explain. Something that keeps me awake at night. Something that made me question everything I thought I knew about my own family. It started with a voicemail. My mother died 5 years ago. Cancer took her fast. We said our goodbyes. We had the funeral. We buried her in Oakwood Cemetery on a cold November morning. I visit her grave every Sunday. So you can imagine how I felt when my phone rang at 2:47 a.m. on a Tuesday night. I saw the caller ID. It said, "Mom's cell." I didn't answer. I couldn't move. My hands were shaking. My husband woke up and asked what was wrong. I showed him the screen. His face went white. The call went to voicemail. And that's when my nightmare truly began. What was on that voicemail? And how could a dead woman leave a message? The haunting stopped that night. The voicemails ended. The fires stopped. The smoke disappeared. I don't know if they forgave Mom. I don't know if they forgave me. But they let us go. Carol died 2 weeks after my visit to the nursing home. Natural causes. The nurses said she went peacefully. Said she was smiling. Emma rebuilt her house. She's doing better now. We don't talk about what happened. Maybe someday we will. I still visit Mom's grave every Sunday. But now I bring flowers for 4 graves. Mom's grave. And 3 graves in the next town over. Michael, Jennifer, and James Patterson. Sometimes I think I see children playing near those graves. A boy and a girl. Laughing. Happy. Free. I hope that's real. I hope they're finally at peace. But I still keep my phone on silent at night. Just in case. And I never, ever answer calls from numbers that shouldn't exist. Because I learned something through all of this. The dead don't always want revenge. Sometimes they just want to be heard. To be remembered. To matter. My mother was a murderer. That's the truth. But she was also human. Flawed. Broken. Capable of terrible things when pushed too far. I don't forgive her. I can't. But I understand her now. And maybe understanding is enough. Maybe that's the real mystery. Not how the dead can call the living. But how the living can survive carrying the sins of the dead. I still don't have an answer to that question. And honestly, I don't think I ever will. "Let go of me," I said. But Carol's grip got tighter. "Do you know what it's like to lose everything in one night, Sarah? To watch your children burn? To hear them screaming for you and not be able to save them? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But I didn't. You're her daughter. Her blood. That's enough." She finally released my hand. I stepped back. My hand felt ice cold where she touched me. "I've been calling you," Carol said. "Me. Not your mother. Not the dead. Me. That's impossible. The caller ID says. I have James's old phone. Your mother gave it to me when she called to confess. She thought it would bring me peace. But it brought me something better. A way to make her children suffer like mine did. You've been leaving the voicemails? Some of them. I recorded James's voice from old home videos. Mixed it with sounds of fire. Made it seem real. Made it seem like ghosts. I felt sick. Why? What do you want? I want you to know what it feels like to be haunted. To be afraid. To lose sleep. To question your sanity. I want you to suffer. Please, I whispered. I'll do anything. Just stop. Carol leaned back in her wheelchair. There's only one way to stop it, Sarah. Only one way to break the curse. What? Confess. Go to the police. Tell them what your mother did. Make her pay for her sins. Even in death, she needs to pay. But she's already dead. What good would? Justice, Sarah. That's what I want. I want the world to know that Louise Mitchell was a murderer. That she destroyed my family. That she was a monster. I left the nursing home in a daze. But when I got to my car, I found something on the windshield that made me realize Carol was telling the truth. I needed answers. I needed to know more about Carol, the woman who survived the fire. I found her through old hospital records. Took some lying, some bribing. But I found her. Carol Lynn Patterson. Living in a nursing home 3 hours away. 72 years old. Severely scarred. Rarely spoke to anyone. I drove there on a Tuesday. Didn't tell my husband. Didn't tell Emma. Just went. The nurse led me to Carol's room. She sat in a wheelchair by the window. Her face and hands were covered in thick scars. Burns that never healed properly. Carol? I said softly. My name is Sarah. Sarah Mitchell. I need to talk to you about James Patterson. Her head turned slowly. Her eyes met mine. And she smiled. But it wasn't a kind smile. I've been waiting for you, she said. Her voice was raspy, damaged from smoke inhalation. I knew you'd come eventually. You knew? I know everything, Sarah. I know what your mother did. I've always known. My heart stopped. How? I saw her that night. In her car down the street. Watching my house burn. Watching my babies die. I couldn't prove it. No one believed me. But I knew. She rolled her wheelchair closer to me. Her scarred hand reached out and grabbed mine. Her grip was surprisingly strong. Your mother called me 3 months ago. Right before she died. She confessed everything. Said she couldn't die with that secret. She begged my forgiveness. Did you forgive her? Carol's smile grew wider. No. I cursed her. I told her I hoped she'd burn in hell. I told her I hoped her children would suffer like mine did. I tried to pull my hand away, but she held tight. And that's when I realized the truth. Emma's house was on fire. Real fire this time. The whole second floor. Her family got out safely, but everything was destroyed. The fire marshal said it started in multiple places at once. Accelerant used. Arson. But no one broke in. All the doors were locked from the inside. Emma came to stay with us. She was traumatized. Kept crying. They're not going to stop, Sarah. They're going to kill us all. I called Helena. What if I volunteer? What if I let them take me? 1 life isn't enough. Your mother took 3. Then what do we do? You need to find your mother's spirit. She's trapped somewhere too. Make her face what she did. Make her take responsibility. Maybe then she can break the binding. How do I find her? Go to her grave. At 2:47 a.m. Bring something of hers. Something important. Something she loved. She'll come. I went to Mom's grave that night. Brought her wedding ring. The one Dad gave her. At 2:47 a.m. exactly, the air got cold. Fog rolled in from nowhere. Mom? I called out. Mom, I know you're here. Silence. Mom, please. They're hurting us. Emma's house burned. They're threatening my kids. You have to fix this. You have to make it right. Still nothing. Then I heard her voice. Weak. Distant. I can't, baby. I'm sorry. I'm trapped too. I can't move on. Can't face them. Can't face what I did. You have to. You're their mother. You have to protect us. There's only one way to protect you, she said. And what she told me next made me realize this nightmare had only one possible ending. I didn't know what else to do. So I found a medium. A woman named Helena who specialized in violent hauntings. She came to my house the next day. Older woman. Maybe 60. She walked through each room slowly. Touching walls. Closing her eyes. In my bedroom, she stopped. 2 children. 1 man. They died together. Violently. Can you help us? Tell me what happened. Everything. I told her the whole story. When I finished, Helena looked sad. Your mother didn't just kill them, Sarah. She bound them. Her guilt, her fear, her regret, it kept them trapped between worlds. They can't move on. Can't rest. They're stuck in that moment of death, burning forever. How do we free them? You can't. Only the person who bound them can release them. And she's dead. So we're trapped? They'll haunt us forever? Helena was quiet for a long time. Then she said something that made my blood run cold. There's one other way. The dead can be paid through fire. Life for life. Your mother took 3 lives in fire. 3 lives must be returned the same way. You mean? Someone has to burn. Voluntarily. To balance the scales. To free them. That's insane. It's ancient law, Sarah. The law of spirits. Blood for blood. Fire for fire. Death for death. She left me her card. If you change your mind, call me. But don't wait too long. The longer they're trapped, the angrier they become. Eventually they'll stop asking for volunteers. That night, Emma called. She was screaming. And I knew the spirits had gone to her house too. I came home from the police station feeling empty. Told my husband what I'd done. He held me while I cried. That night, I fell asleep around midnight. Exhausted. Drained. I woke up at 2:47 a.m. But not from a phone call. From smoke. My bedroom was full of smoke. Gray and thick. I couldn't breathe. Couldn't see. Started coughing violently. Fire! I screamed. Wake up! My husband jumped up. We ran to our kids' rooms. Got them out. Ran downstairs and outside. The fire trucks came. Firefighters went in. Came out 20 minutes later. Ma'am, there's no fire, the chief said. No smoke. No damage. Nothing. That's impossible. We smelled it. Saw it. Sometimes electrical issues can cause. I know what I saw. But when we went back inside, he was right. No fire. No smoke. No smell. Everything was normal. Except on my bed. Burned into the sheets and black char marks. Words. Justice isn't enough. We want more. My husband saw it too. So did the firefighters. They took pictures. Called it vandalism. Said someone must have broken in while we were outside. But I knew better. The voicemail came 5 minutes later. Not to my phone. To every phone in the house. My cell. My husband's cell. The landline. All at once. Children's voices. Singing. Ring around the rosy. Pocket full of posies. Ashes, ashes. We all fall down. Carol wasn't behind this. She lied. Or she didn't know the whole truth. The dead were real. And they wanted something more than justice. The basement looked different. Cleaner. Brighter lights. New washer and dryer where Mom's old ones used to be. But the furnace was still there. Old and rusty in the corner. Take your time, the wife said. We'll be upstairs if you need anything. I waited until I heard their footsteps fade. Then I walked to the furnace. My heart was pounding so hard I thought I might pass out. Behind the furnace was a small space. Just a gap between the metal and the concrete wall. I got on my knees. Reached back there. My hand touched something cold. Metal. I pulled it out. A blue box. Maybe the size of a shoebox. Locked with a small padlock. Covered in dust and spider webs. My hands were shaking again. I tried to open it but the lock held tight. I looked around the basement. Found an old screwdriver on a shelf. Used it to pry the lock off. The lock broke. The box opened. Inside were papers. Photographs. And a small cassette tape. The first photograph made my blood run cold. It was my father. But he wasn't in a car. He was standing in front of a house I'd never seen before. With a woman I didn't recognize. And 2 children who weren't me and Emma. Who were these people? And what else was my mother hiding? The medium is lying, Mom's voice said. Or she doesn't know the whole truth. What do you mean? There is a way to break the binding. But it's not through sacrifice. It's through forgiveness. Carol won't forgive you, I asked her. Not Carol's forgiveness. Theirs. Michael and Jennifer. They need to forgive me. But they're children. They don't understand. They just know they're hurting and angry and they want someone to pay. Then how? You have to help them understand, Sarah. You have to tell them the truth. That I was sick. That I made a terrible mistake. That their father wasn't innocent either. That no one deserves to suffer forever. How do I talk to them? Let them in. Stop fighting. Stop being afraid. Let them see through your eyes. See your children. See the life they never got to have. Let them feel love again instead of just hate. Mom, I'm terrified. I know, baby. But it's the only way. And Sarah, if this doesn't work, if they can't forgive, then you need to get your family away from here. Far away. Change your names. Never visit my grave again. Cut the connection completely. What about you? I'll burn. Forever. That's my punishment. But you and Emma and your children don't have to burn with me. The fog faded. She was gone. I went home. Told my husband everything. He thought I was losing my mind. Maybe I was. But at 2:47 a.m., when my bedroom filled with smoke again, I didn't run. I sat up. Faced the darkness. And I said, Michael. Jennifer. I know you're angry. I know you're hurting. I'm so sorry for what my mother did to you. You deserve to live. You deserve to grow up. You deserved everything she took from you. The smoke swirled. Formed shapes. 2 small figures. But please, I whispered. Please don't hurt my children. They're innocent. Just like you were innocent. And then something happened that I never expected. Something that finally gave me hope this nightmare might end. The tape kept playing. Mom was crying harder now. I watched the house burn from my car down the street. I saw your father run out carrying Jennifer. She wasn't moving. He ran back in for Michael. The roof collapsed. They never came out. Carol survived, but barely. 3rd-degree burns. She was in the hospital for months. I visited her once. Disguised myself. She didn't recognize me. She was so broken, Sarah. So destroyed. The fire marshal ruled it arson but never found who did it. I made sure I left no evidence. No one ever suspected me. Why would they? I was the grieving wife who lost her husband. But they know, Sarah. The dead know. Your father knows. Those children know. They've been trying to reach me for 30 years. I see them in mirrors. Hear them in the walls. Feel them watching me. Always watching. My husband stopped the tape. Sarah, maybe we shouldn't. No, I said. I need to hear it all. He pressed play again. I'm dying, baby. The cancer is spreading. And I'm scared. Not of death. I'm scared of what comes after. I'm scared of facing them. Of what they'll do to me. If you find this tape, it means I'm gone. It means I'm with them now. And Sarah, I'm so sorry, but they might come for you too. The tape ended with a click. We sat in silence for a long time. My mother was a murderer. She killed 3 people. Let everyone think it was an accident. Raised me and Emma on that lie. And now she was warning me that the dead were coming. But why would they come for me? I waited until morning to listen. I needed daylight. I needed to feel safe. My husband sat next to me at the kitchen table. Our coffee got cold. Neither of us drank it. I put the phone on speaker. My finger hovered over the play button for a full minute. Then I pressed it. Static. Heavy breathing. Then her voice. Sarah, baby. I need you to listen carefully. It was her. Every mother knows her own mother's voice. The way she said my name. The slight rasp from years of smoking. The pause before baby, like she always did. I made a mistake. A terrible mistake. And now they won't let me rest. More static. A sound like wind. Or crying. I couldn't tell. Go to the house. Our old house. Look in the basement. Behind the furnace. You'll find a box. A blue metal box. Open it. You need to know the truth about your father. The message ended. My husband stared at me. I stared back. My father died when I was 8 years old. Car accident. That's what Mom always told me. But her voice, there was fear in it. Pure terror. What truth was she talking about? And who were they? The old house stood on Maple Street. Mom sold it 2 years before she died. A young couple bought it. Fixed it up nice. I drove past it sometimes but never stopped. Now I had to go back. I called the current owners. Told them I grew up there. Said I left something in the basement years ago. Could I please come look? They were nice about it. Said come by Saturday afternoon. Those 3 days of waiting nearly killed me. I couldn't eat. Couldn't sleep. Kept playing that voicemail over and over. Was it really her? How was it possible? I showed the voicemail to my sister Emma. She lives 2 hours away. She came right over. Emma listened 3 times. Then she looked at me with tears in her eyes. That's Mom, she whispered. But Sarah. Mom's phone. We canceled her service 5 years ago. That number doesn't exist anymore. She was right. I had called Mom's old number months after the funeral. Got a message saying it was disconnected. So how did she call me? Saturday came. I drove to Maple Street alone. My husband offered to come but I said no. This felt personal. Private. Like Mom wanted just me to know. The young couple welcomed me in. Nice people. They had a baby. The house smelled like fresh paint and hope. But what was waiting for me in that basement? Mom's voice continued on the tape. Each word felt like a knife. I confronted your father. He begged me not to leave. Said he loved all of us. Said he couldn't choose. Can you imagine? He wanted to keep both families. Like we were toys he could play with whenever he wanted. I heard her take a deep breath. I told him I'd take you girls and disappear. Go to the police. Ruin him. He got scared then. Real scared. Said he'd end it with Carol. Said he'd be a real husband and father to us. Only us. Another pause. Longer this time. But he didn't end it, Sarah. He kept seeing them. Kept lying. So I did something terrible. Something I've regretted every day since. My husband grabbed my hand. We both knew something awful was coming. That night. The fire. August 14th, 1993. That wasn't an accident. My whole body went cold. I didn't mean for it to happen the way it did. I just wanted to scare Carol. Make her leave town. Take her kids and go. I thought the house would be empty. Your father told me they were going camping that weekend. But he lied. They were home. Oh God. Oh God, no. I drove there at midnight. Poured gasoline around the back door. Just meant to damage the house. Give them a warning. But the fire spread so fast, Sarah. So fast. My mother started the fire that killed my father and his other children. But how did she live with that secret? I spread everything out on the basement floor. My hands were shaking so bad I could barely hold the photos. There were 12 pictures total. All of Dad. With this other woman. With these other kids. At birthday parties. At the beach. At Christmas morning with presents and a tree. They looked happy. Like a real family. On the back of one photo, someone had written, James, Carol, Michael, and Jennifer Summer 1989. James was my father's name. But who was Carol? Who were Michael and Jennifer? I was born in 1985. Emma in 1987. These photos were taken when we were little kids. When Dad was supposedly working long hours at the factory. When Mom said he was doing overtime to save money for our future. He was with them. I found a birth certificate in the box. Michael James Patterson. Born 1983. Father, James Patterson. Mother, Carol Lynn Patterson. My father had another son, 2 years older than me. Then I found the newspaper clipping. Yellow and brittle. From August 1993. Local family dies in house fire. Father and 2 children perish. Mother in critical condition. The address was in the next town over. Just 20 minutes from where we lived. James Patterson. Michael Patterson, age 10. Jennifer Patterson, age 7. My father didn't die in a car accident. He died in a fire with his other family. But why did Mom lie? I grabbed the cassette tape. It was labeled in my mother's handwriting. For Sarah, play only if something happens to me. Something had happened to her. She died. But she never told me about this tape. Or maybe she couldn't tell me. Maybe she was scared. I didn't have a cassette player anymore. Nobody does. I put everything back in the box. Thanked the couple. Drove home in a daze. My husband took one look at my face and knew something was wrong. I showed him everything. The photos. The birth certificate. The newspaper article. Sarah, he said quietly. Your mom, she knew about this other family? She had to know, I said. She kept all this hidden. For my whole life. We found an old cassette player at a thrift store the next day. Paid $5 for it. Drove home. Sat on our bed. Put the tape in. Hit play. Mom's voice filled the room. But younger. Stronger. This was recorded years ago. Sarah, if you're hearing this, then I'm gone. And you found the box like I knew you would. I'm sorry, baby. I'm so sorry you had to learn the truth this way. A long pause. I heard her crying softly. Your father lived 2 lives. 2 families. I found out when you were 5 years old. I hired a private detective. He brought me photos. Addresses. Everything. But if Mom knew, why did she stay? What else was she hiding? That night, my phone rang at 2:47 a.m. Same time as before. Mom's cell. On the caller ID. This time I answered. Static. Heavy breathing. Then screaming. A child screaming. A man yelling. Fire crackling. Please help us. Please. It's so hot. I can't find Michael. Jennifer won't wake up. My father's voice. Desperate. Dying. Then Mom's voice. Cold. Angry. You brought this on yourself, James. You made me do this. The call ended. I dropped the phone. My husband heard the whole thing. His face was white as paper. We need to call someone, he said. Police. Priest. Someone. And tell them what? That my dead mother is calling me? That she confessed to murder 30 years ago on a tape? They'll think I'm crazy. But the calls kept coming. Every night at 2:47 a.m. Always. Mom's cell. On the caller ID. Sometimes it was Mom begging for forgiveness. Sometimes it was my father cursing her. Sometimes it was children crying. Sometimes it was just screaming. I stopped sleeping. Started seeing things in the dark. Shadows moving. Small handprints on my windows. The smell of smoke in my house even though nothing was burning. My sister Emma started getting calls too. Same time. Same number. She called me crying. Sarah, what's happening? Why is this happening to us? We didn't do anything. But maybe we did. Maybe being her daughters was enough. Maybe the dead don't care about guilt or innocence. Then I found something that changed everything. Something that proved this wasn't just in my head. A photograph. Placed under my windshield wiper. It showed my mother. Standing outside Carol's house. The night of the fire. You could see the date stamp in the corner. August 14th, 1993. 11:47 p.m. 13 minutes before the fire started. I flipped it over. Written on the back. I have more. Go to the police or I release everything to the media. Your mother's legacy will be destroyed. Your family name will be dirt. Choose wisely. Carol had evidence. Real evidence. All these years. I drove home shaking. Called Emma. Told her everything. The tape. Carol. The photograph. All of it. What do we do? Emma asked. I don't know. If we go to the police, Mom's name gets destroyed. Everyone will know. Our kids will grow up knowing their grandmother was a murderer. But if we don't, Carol will release it anyway. Maybe we deserve it, Emma said quietly. Maybe this is justice. That night, no call came at 2:47 a.m. The silence was somehow worse. I couldn't sleep. Kept thinking about those children. Michael and Jennifer. 10 and 7 years old. They never got to grow up. Never got to have families of their own. All because Mom was angry and jealous. At dawn, I made my decision. I drove to the police station. Brought the box. The tape. The photograph. Everything. The detective listened to it all. His face showed no emotion. Ma'am, he finally said. This is a 30-year-old case. Your mother is deceased. There's not much we can do legally. But I'll file a report. Get it on record. That's it. That's it. I thought confessing would end it. I thought the curse would be broken. But that night, something happened that proved this was far from over. The end. But is it really over? Or are some mysteries meant to stay unsolved?